This morning, the Appropriations Committee considered a first partial batch of government funding bills for next year. I want the Senate to secure bipartisan appropriations through the regular process. I want us to fund the government in an orderly fashion, just like the successful Appropriations Committee work we saw throughout Republicans' recent years in the majority. We accomplished that because we built a truly bipartisan process. Importantly, it began at the beginning. Early in the calendar year, we convened bipartisan talks to produce top-line numbers so the appropriators would have actual targets. That led good faith bipartisan conversations happen at the subcommittee and committee levels throughout the spring and summer. And we got results on a bipartisan basis. Unfortunately, this year, our Democratic colleagues haven't done anything like that. Either our colleagues don't have any big picture plan, or they're privately working off the president's partisan budget request. There's been no big picture bipartisan conversation. Democrats didn't even let the committee vote on top-line allocations, which normally happens at the start of a markup. Our colleagues' fixation on far-left shiny objects is distracting them from basic governance. They're more focused on ramming through another reckless inflationary taxing and spending spree than ensuring we avoid a stalemate over government funding. Now look, I understand and I appreciate that senators on both sides have worked hard to develop appropriation titles with a lot of good content. The problem is bigger picture. When it comes to floor consideration, we cannot and will not start planting individual trees before we have bipartisan consensus on the shape of the forest. Here's what it will take to get a Senate appropriations process back on track. Two simple things. Number one, Democrats will need to honor the longstanding bipartisan truce that provides parity for defense and non-defense spending growth. Parity for defense and non-defense spending growth. And at a responsible overall number that we can all accept. Our men and women in uniform and the nation they defend deserve better than a budget that cuts our national defense after inflation and allows adversaries to get an edge. And number two, we must have agreement that we're going to keep longstanding bipartisan policy riders in and new poison pill riders out. We need to keep foundational mainstays like the Hyde Amendment right where they are, and neither side should throw new wrenches into the process. Parity for national and border security and a bipartisan deal on policy riders. This is not rocket science. It's a roadmap. We all know it very, very well. That's what it will take to move bipartisan appropriation bills across this floor. But the majority is behind on the homework.